Welcome back, guys and ladies. I decided I'm going to start my solar. I kept putting this off and putting this off and putting this off. This is just how I'm going to do it. These are my panels right there. Just suggestions. I don't know. I just wanted to share it. Both my kids are gone, so I really can't share it to them. So I decided to make a YouTube channel on my RV build. This is going to be my solar setup. There's going to be a lot of parts to it. Each video will probably be around 20 minutes long. I'm going to make them a little bit longer than previous. But like I said, this is just my setup. I may give somebody some ideas, or if you're watching the video, you could leave a comment on giving me an idea. But basically the breakdown is, I mean, I'm doing everything. My panels, I don't want to put them on the roof because I don't want to put any holes in my roof. I may put 2 of these up there just to travel down the road to keep my batteries charged. That's probably it. But the other ones, I'm going to be hinging. I got the hinges down here. I'm going to be hinging these somehow so they're connected. And then I have a chain down here. And I'm going to chain the tops so they sit like a V, or I can release the chain and lay them down flat. That's my idea. Because when I go places, I'm normally there for a long time. So I don't mind pulling my panels out. I'll have to keep them locked up and keep my security cameras on them, that's for sure. I'm also worried about the theft. But we'll figure that out. I can figure out a way to lock them up. I normally don't leave my RV anyway when I'm out and about. So, but I got everything here, my wires, charge controllers. I'll be going over everything. This is just my setup. You guys can use my ideas if you want, don't matter. But the first thing I'm going to start out with is the hinges. I'm going to hinge these up and get the chains on there, and then I'm going to build a bracket in here, because these are just bungee. They're just temporary. I mean, I already went on a couple trips with them back here. I probably should have filmed it. I never filmed my trips, but this has got to be fixed. And my trips are pretty short, just to keep the RV going. I just basically just go out and drive around. There's really no destination. I may put 50 miles on it just to keep everything in working order. So I don't know. I just don't feel like kind of a boring video, I guess, where you call them a blog. But anyway, got my wires, charge controller, clamps, the chain, and then after the brackets are put on and the chains are put on, I'm gonna make a brace for this to hold that up, and put some shelving up here. That's all part of my solar system. You're gonna see all of it. Me building that. It's just a whole solar setup, basically. And there's gonna be a lot of videos. So let me pull some of these out here, and I'm gonna take them outside and start making my V, because I don't want to make my brace yet, because those hinges are going to make this wider, and this one wider, and this one wider, and this one wider. So by the time it's wider, I don't really know where I'm going to be over here. But yeah, it's going to be a brace up here, and then a board and some shelving up here to put stuff up on. Probably my canned food. So let's get some of these out. Get some drill bits. Get rolling. Get back up here. Oh yeah, and this is actually my old refrigerator. That's where my refrigerator was, and I took it out in a previous video just for this. I didn't want the refrigerator anyway. It uses too much power. Even on gas, on the propane, it just sucks it up. So I saved myself a little bit of weight too. I don't know how much, and panels don't weigh that much. That refrigerator was kind of heavy. But yeah, refrigerator's gone, and I went to that one, which works pretty good. That refrigerator works pretty good. So let's pull these out. This is basically how my solar is going to be ran. If you ever do solar, it's good to do a diagram and figure out your watts and your volts and your amps and what you're running. There's calculations you can do, and as I go through the video, I'll explain what they are on how you figure out your watts and your volts. But this was my first setup. All the blue is my positive. Now I was going to go series, and then parallel these, but I think it's too much. I got to go over the math again. I think it's too much for my charge controller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run all 4 of these series and all 4 of these series, and then I'm going to run parallel to my charge controller. I also have a Bluetooth device, which is good to have. The whole setup is Renogy. I'm going to be putting out about 800 watts of Renogy. My whole RV has about 1,000 watts because I have a couple other panels just charging other batteries. I have one panel charging my coach battery just to start it up. It's a little 50-watt panel just to keep my battery charged. And then I have another 100-watt charging my house batteries, okay, which keeps it up pretty good. I'm running it right now. And then this will be the third setup. So I have 3 setups for solar. It's great to have. It's backup. I do plan on getting 2 more batteries, but they're really expensive. I can't afford them. I'd like to get 2 lithium-ion batteries and take these 2 and put them in my coach. Use them for coach batteries. That's my ideal plan. But, I can't do it. I have to save up some pennies here. I already got my inverter set up. It's all fused up. Power strips over here. Ran my own cords. I'm running 2-aught wire. This is the old setup. I'm putting together the 800 watt now. Now this used to only be charged by a 100 watt panel, but I took the 100 watt panel and ran it to my coach batteries and just took these apart. They've been apart for a few weeks, no big deal. I check them and charge them every once in a while. But yeah, make a diagram so you know what you're doing. It's good to write it down. You got to add up your volts and everything. You don't want to burn up your charge controller. My charge controller is a Renogy 60 amp. I can run 150 volts, so that's quite a bit. I just wanted to throw this little bit in here. These are going to be long videos, but many of them. If I was to film, it would probably be 2 hours long. So if you guys want to skip a part of the video, you can just skip it. If you want to skip the whole video, get to a part that you need to know about, like the wiring and everything that I'm going to do, I'm really going to break it down. And like I said, this is my setup. It's not how you're supposed to do it. You have to figure out your own power needs. I went as far as added up everything that I have in here that I run, my watts, everything, to figure out for me to live in my RV full time in the winter months, I need to bring that power in as quick as I can to store in my batteries, which that's not enough. Not 2 batteries. I can make it last, but I have to be careful what I do, what I run, because I can't kill my batteries and then not have heat or anything else like that. But I will be getting other batteries in the future. So write this down, draw out your little stuff, whatever you got to do, and you got to know about balance charging, balance power load, all that stuff to run this correctly. And you'll see it in the videos as we go. I may be wrong on some of it. If I am, please don't hate me. You can always leave a comment and say, hey, look, guy, you kind of want to go this way. It would help, because I don't know. This is the first giant solar setup that I've done. Really, I mean, I've had other solars, but there were just 1 or 2 panels. It was very simple, small charge controller. But this is pretty elaborate. This is more than what I've ever done. I still got to do some research. I mean, you got to put fuses in here, inline fuses inside of your panels, because if one panel goes bad, the ones before it actually feed into it, which takes the power away from here. And when that feeds into that busted panel, it gets hot and it creates a lot of heat, and you can start your panel on fire. So there's safety concerns with it too that I still got to do some research on. I got to make sure I put my fuses in the right spot. So I'm new to this too. Let's get on them panels first and then build the brackets, and setting this up is going to be a while. So I mean, like I said, this isn't just about solar. This is about my setup. I figured I'd share it. My kids are in the military and they watch my videos. So I mean, it's one of the reasons why I started a YouTube channel, was for my kids, so they can check me out if they wanted to. They're both gone. Kind of stinks, but they'll be back. So I'm going to take them panels out there and start hinging them up. There's the first setup here. There's the hinges. These are pretty stout hinges. I was going to use 3 for safety, but I think 2 will be fine. These are nice panels. I did a review on them. Just an unboxing. They're really nice. They're light. They put out 23 watts each and 5.38 amps, I believe, a piece. So it's pretty good. I gotta get this hinged up. I believe I'm gonna go the other way though. Maybe I'll flip them upside down. Get a rag down here because I don't want to scratch them. It's not a cheap date. I have 8 of these panels. It's a Renogy 800 watt solar setup. I just bought a kit. Came with everything that I need. Well, I had to buy a couple other stuff, some fuses and a little bit more wire, but other than that, it came in one kit. Everything matches up. Well, it should. I hope it will. It's Renogy. Renogy's pretty good. I'm going to figure out how to put these on there. When you do this too, make sure your your modules are on the same side. Don't mix them up, just a little thing in there. Here's some of the specs for the panels if you didn't see my other video. Yeah, they're supposed to be pretty good panels. 100 watt, 22.3 volts open circuit voltage, 18.6 volts optimum operating voltage, operating current 5.38, short circuit current 5.86. Tells you everything you need. The fuse rating here, they even put the fuse rating that you're going to need, a 15 amp fuse. So don't exceed that. You'll be alright. That's the panel. I have an unboxing of these. Just an unboxing, not hooking them up, just an unboxing. I'll do the same thing with my charge controller. Once I get to that part, I'll cut off and I'll make a whole separate video on the unboxing of that. But these will go right here. About here. I'll get some drill. I'll drill a hole here, but I'm going to go up here a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to drill holes in brand new panels, but you'll see in the end of the video why I'm doing it this way, because I want them at a V. So I'm going to try to get most of the sun that I can, because if they're at a V, just picture them at a V the other way around, laying on the ground. So I'm going to make mounts here too. When the sun comes up from the east, it'll hit this side of the panel, and as it goes, it'll really start to charge because it'll be hitting all 8 panels. And then when it goes down into the west, it'll be hitting the other 4 panels. I've done tests like this before with this one here. This is my 100 watt panel that's running up there in my little army truck under there. I like RC cars too. But what I did was this folds. This is a 100 watt Renogy foldable solar setup. It came with the charge controller and everything. I made a video on this also, but I took my charge controller off. Normally on this unit it would be here. Get it down here. There's Velcro on it. It sits here. Well, I took it off and I mounted it inside my cab, which is here. This is the 100 watt charge controller. It's a Voyager. There's no sun today. I'm only pulling in 0.4 amp. It's cloudy day. And my panel's dirty. So a cloudy day, dirty panel, only a 100 watt panel. That's not bad. I'm still pulling in 4 amp. I did have to plug in my converter in the RV to charge up my house batteries when it gets this low. But what I did is I folded it, a test. This is what gave me the idea for those panels over there. And I faced one side to the west and one side to the east. It basically, I mean, I lost a little bit of amperage, but once the sun was up there, I got the full effect, and I don't have to keep moving the panels. As of right now, they're sitting here because this giant tree right here is blocking everything, and I'm too close to it, but no big deal. I still have a generator and I have shore power, but it works. It really worked. So that's why I'm designing it this way, to copy that. So I could just fold them and hopefully just set them out on the ground, face one west, one east, I'll have 4 different sets and just let them go. That'll be plenty. These are good panels. They pull in a lot of wattage. A lot. So, and I'll probably put some handles over here too, somewhere. A handle and a clip, so that I can lock them together. I don't have any clips. I gotta go to the store. But I'm gonna go get the hardware, drill, and I'm gonna put a board back here so I don't drill into that panel by mistake. Okay. That looks good. Put one there. I'll use these holes here. I gotta line them up a little bit better, get my tape measure. One there and one there. It's starting to rain. This sucks. Didn't call for rain on the weather, but of course, this is Pennsylvania, up north, so you don't believe the weatherman for anything. Just walk outside and check it out yourself. I'm gonna go get some screws, some nuts and bolts. I mentioned this before in my other videos. Everything I take apart, I keep all the screws. Most of these screws here, 99.9% of them, I didn't buy. So I'm sure I have stuff in here. These I think I purchased though. I may use these ones here. I got washers. They're kind of small, but there'll be 6 of them. The panels ain't that heavy. I probably should go a little thicker. I'm going to use these bigger washers. Safety first. That's basically what's going to tie them in. I hope I have enough. I may have to go to the hardware store. I have to get clips and handles anyway, so I'll do the first one and then figure out what else I'm going to need. I have lock nuts too, which is good. I'm going to use lock nuts on the other side. There's the hardware all set up. I may just use 2 of these per hinge. I got to save on some hardware here. I don't want to buy more. I think 2 would be fine. Actually, be 4 per hinge. 2 on each side. I think that's what I'm going to do. It's not that much weight and it's not bearing a load, you know, so not much of one anyway. And I got my drill bit. Go drill some holes. I got to get a piece of wood to put in there though. Yeah, some of you guys might be calling me crazy for drilling into these solar panels, but it's okay. You'll see how it works. It'll be alright. I'm pretty good with a drill. I don't think I'm going to break them. It ain't going to avoid the warning. So, it'll be alright. And that way I can carry 2 at a time, and while I just explain what I was trying to do. So, let's get drill some holes. First thing I got to do is get these lined up pretty good. One shot, one deal. I don't want to drill too many holes. I don't want to make a mistake. So, I'll get this squared away, and then I'll start drilling holes. Put this board back there. I don't want to screw down into them. I don't want to make any mistakes. Drill the hole down in there. I went and got a little better drill. I'll end up killing that. This is going to be very time consuming. I'll probably go into detail on the first one, everything that I do, and then I won't go into as much detail doing it all because this is going to take a while. So this will probably take up the whole first part just doing this. Well, let's get going. Very time consuming. I was going to put 3 in there. This is pretty strong with just the 2. I mean, there's lock nuts on the back side, so I mean, it's not a lot of weight. These aren't heavy. Got them only weigh 14 pounds or something, 10 pounds, I don't know. But I think 2 will be fine. I'll do this side. There's one. Boy, this is really time consuming. This is going to take me a while. Part 2 might not be for a few days because I'm not going to record every hole that I drill. But I left these 2 loose here so that I can get the right gap up there. Alright, there's the first one. It took me forever. This is going to take a long time. Let's fold it up, make sure it works. It will. It'll work. Yeah, it works pretty good. My concern is, though, it's hitting... Those 2 heads are hitting each other. And I don't think it's putting any strain on the panel itself. But they're definitely hitting. I should have got like a stove bolt or something. I might even go get some stove bolts. I mean, there's no pressure on the glass itself. It's just on the metal part back here. That's all. I think it'll be okay. I hope. I mean, these are expensive panels. You know what I'll do? I'll get some rubber stops and I'll put up here on each corner. That's what I'll do. Working on the fly here. That way, it'll alleviate that pretty good too. You can see it up in there. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go upstairs and see if I can look around and find something. Actually, I have something already. These actually came in the packaging for the panels to keep them separated. I just put it on the corner there. That probably could be a little bit wider. If I find any rubber stops, though, I'm gonna put some rubber stops in there. But for now, so I don't want to put too much pressure on that glass. I don't think it's the glass. It's just the frame part that's getting the pressure. So it actually holds them together pretty good. You should have put the hinges on the outside, maybe. I didn't really want to do that because of the nuts and bolts. Well, I don't know. Maybe the next one, then I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to put the hinges on the other way. I'm not going to change this one, though. I didn't think them bolts would hit like that. I really didn't. Not like that, anyway. That'll work. I'm going to go upstairs and see if I can find a handle. I got some mounts I want to put on here that I'm still going to put on. They're the actual mounts that... The kit came with roof mounts. I'm going to use the roof mounts as little stands to keep it up off the ground. I was trying to... They use rivets. I wonder if I could use rivets. Huh. Trial and error, but I was just trying to follow how they did it, but they use rivets. And they also have little stops up here, so it doesn't do that. See these little pieces of plastic? And it's starting to rain, damn it. Well, that sucks. At least got an awning. As long as it don't start raining sideways, it'll be alright. But look, the sun's out and it's raining. That's the way Pennsylvania weather is up north. Probably all over Pennsylvania. Pretty crazy. You probably see a rainbow here over that way. Well, anyway, if you can hear me in the rain, I'll just talk a little louder. I'm going to use these mounts here. I'm not sure which way I'm going to put them, but these are going to hold it up off the ground. It'll work perfect. Maybe I'll go this way. A little wider base. But this also came with the hardware, the Renogy kit. Got your screws, your hardware. That'll be alright. Throw those on there. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this setup here. I should have been thinking ahead a little bit. I didn't think they would hit. Not like that. Because of the hinge, but I don't have a rivet gun. Not here anyway. I got one in the garage over at my dad's house. I think I'm just going to try the next set. I'm going to try to put the hinges the other way on the back side, so they don't hit. I just didn't want to have these shown. I wanted to look, professional. Like I said, I was copying that setup, but they use rivets and I didn't realize it. So, and they have little stops up here on their panel, so it don't close as much. I'm gonna go upstairs and look around, see if I can find some pieces of rubber. I mean, this will work for now, just to get everything going, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just take a chunk of this off. Maybe I'll do that. I'll cut this. And I can just glue this onto there. Hey, that's what I'll do. Trial and error, guys. I normally don't plan too much out, but as you'll see in my other videos, I always change my mind on stuff. I can cut a square out of this and put it and glue it all the way around the corners. Maybe even in here too. But that should stop it. Oh, problem solved. Always changing my mind. It's okay. Sorry, guys. If I put one here and one here, well, one here and then one here on this side, when I close this up, these will stop that from hitting. Problem solved. Yeah, that'll work. I'll just have to, when I store these, I'll put one in one way, one in the other way, and it'll match up the gaps. That'll be fine. And I also don't have to get a clip anymore because I can just throw a little bolt through here. And probably a wing nut, and it'll hold it together. Perfect. Holy rain, you guys probably can't even hear me, but wow, I'm gonna give it a minute here, see if it quits. Well, it quit raining. That's good. Anyway, back to this setup here. Like I said, I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but I was trying to follow that design, and I didn't realize these bolts would hit like that, so. And I'm still going to post this video, even though I made a mistake. A lot of people would say, oh no, I made a mistake, I'm not going to post it. But hey, maybe somebody will learn from me, from my mistake. This, I don't know if I like that idea either. Oh, my nose is running. I'm going to put the hinges on the outside. I just wanted to try to keep everything compact, and I was trying to follow the other design. I'm going to put the hinges out here. You can actually see them. And, that'll stop it from doing that. Because I did some measuring, even with this gap. Well, with 8 panels in there with that gap, it's going to take up too much space. That's okay. I'll fix it. I'm going to bring another one out here, though, and start on that one. And then if it does work, then what I'll do is I'll take each of these and I'll put one here and then I'll put one here so they close together. And I could still make a type of a lock to put on there to do it. So first I'm going to go get me a sub. I'll get you something to eat. And then I'll come back and I'll do another one. Learn from your mistakes. Don't hate on me, guys. Jeez. I really didn't think them bolts would hit like that. I really didn't. I thought that this would keep it apart, but it didn't. I'm not going to go get rivets and a rivet gun. It's kind of a long drive. Well, I could drive Georgie there and just film that and make it part of the video. But going to get parts. I'll be back. I'm going to get some food. Well, the sub was good. I went ahead and I ordered a rivet gun. It's going to take a couple days for that rivet gun to get here, and some giant rivets. I'm going to use the rivets. I think it's a better idea, and I'm gonna put the hinges on the outside. I just wanted to hide them, you know. I wanted to make it look professional, but that's right. It'll go on the other way, and then this will close. The only thing is, when I open them up, even with that little bit of a gap, even with a rivet, it's still gonna be open like that. They won't be able to lay completely flat, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I really am. And I found some other hinges, but they want $12 a piece for them, and they would work perfect. There would be no, they're off, they're like sunk in here. The bolts are. It's just a thicker hinge to where they don't hit. But I'm not paying that much for hinges. I had these hinges for a long time. I got to use these up. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end this video. Like, subscribe, guys. Trial and error. Like I said before, a lot of people, they would make a mistake with their video and not show it. That's okay. Maybe you guys can learn from what I'm doing if you guys ever get an idea about this. It's gonna work out pretty good. It won't be that much of a gap. It'll be alright. And my whole idea is to leave them at make a V anyway. You know, this basically, let's say that's my panel. One panel here, one panel on the other side. This is how I want it anyway. So I don't have to move them. I got one facing east and one facing west. It'll work out just good. And if I got during the summer months, I can just open them up all the way. But this is basically for winter, so I don't have to go outside and move my panels around all the time. But hey guys, like, subscribe. This is part one. There will be a part two. Once the rivet gun comes in, there will be a part two. Because I don't want to put the chains on the side or nothing until I get these mounted correctly. That'll make it flush. It'll work a little better. Like, subscribe, guys. I'll talk to you later. See you next vid. Couple days. Later.